Morning YouTube, it's been a while. For all those who do not know me, I am Danielle, better known as Danielle the Happy Medium, and in this video topic we're going to talk about keeping the blend and how and what is the blend with the spirit world. So off the back of a workshop that I did on Sunday morning or Sunday daytime, I had a lot of brand new, what I would call mediums, people who'd had either no training at all but had an ability or had had very little training and were trying to take that ability to the next level. And the biggest problem that I found in that workshop was that they couldn't keep a hold of the blend. And the reason being is because the conscious mind interfered. So let me break it down, let me show you and help you understand more about when you're working with the spirit world, what is the best way to keep a hold of the blend, which is to communicate it to me and you, for all those budding mediums and for all the general public who may be watching, who do not understand what the blend is. Also, the blend is where the mind blends with the communicator, which is the loved one to me and you, and where the mental mind or the conscious mind will interfere and will make you drop that blend. Therefore, you will have to go back to the spirit world in your mind and reconnect. So for all them lovely newbies that did ever so well there on Sunday, like I say, the problem that I found most in that workshop was that they kept dropping their blend and couldn't keep a hold of their blend. What is how I use, or a hint and tip that I would use for anybody who's watching this video, is what we call the 3-second rule. The 3-second rule is you have gone to the spirit world, took your mind to the spirit world, your communicator or loved one has come forward, and you will start to give evidence. Now, as you're giving that evidence, normally for anybody who's been watching my YouTube channel, you'll know that I allow the communicator to come forward. I will ask the communicator what their story is and leave the rest up to the intelligence of the spirit world in order to deliver the information that they feel is important to the loved one. The 3-second rule is where there starts to be a blank, or where people will go M. This is normally where the conscious mind is starting to interfere, or where the conscious mind is starting to blend back in. And what I tend to see is that as that starts to happen, the communication or the blend will drop because the conscious mind is now starting to filter over. So let you understand that bit more, or sort of refresh it a little bit better so you understand it. So when you're standing with the communicator, you will ask, what is the story? The information should just automatically start filling in or start flowing in, because the spirit world understands the logic and understanding of energy and how energy will run. What will then happen is when we start to interfere, or when there's been a small gap, or the conscious mind started to interfere, it will then, the link will either drop or the blend will start to drop, and it's called the 3-second rule. If this starts to happen within the first 3 seconds, it's still the spirit world. Anything after the 3-second rule is what we call the mental mind starting to interfere, or the conscious mind has started to interfere with the communication. So when I'm working, so let me give you a little bit of a demonstration. So I've got Mother here. I will say within my mind to Mother, what's your story? She will then give me an image or a word or a feeling. She will then start, this time I would have said, I'm with your mother, can I come to the lady on the second row, third in on the right? Yes, the lady will have said yes to me. By this time, the spirit world's still listening, and they will have then started to feed more information in. So as I've gotten the yes back, the next lot of information is already coming to the forefront. I'm then starting to speak it. So it becomes like a flow. Now, when that flow starts to stop, or when there's sort of be an indication, there's normally 2 reasons for this. Anything after the 3-second rule is you. Anything before that is because the spirit world's either changing the story or there's something else that they want to talk about. So when I'm training mediums, the biggest thing that I see happen when I'm working with training mediums is the fact that they've gone over the 3-second rule because they've started to overthink it and they haven't spoken what's being given to them. And because of that, the conscious mind will then start to bleed in or will start to interfere, and that will then start to jolt the communication or make the medium completely drop the link altogether. Fear will set in because of the 3 seconds, because that's all the window you have to get the information in again, go to the people. and it'll all start to flow. Anything after 3 seconds, it's you, unfortunately, the medium. And what will happen is fear will set in because you will have blended or you will have diluted the information too much with the conscious mind, or you've interfered, which will probably get you a no, which will knock your confidence, and then ultimately will make you want to pull out of the communication. So if this is happening, for the budding medium out there, watch your flow. See how much that you're having to wait. I would recommend, and I was timing my students on Sunday because of this. I time them so I can gather how much it is that the medium is interfering and how much it is of the spirit world. So that it gives me an indication as a medium when I'm working or training to understand a little bit more about what my mediums are doing. And the majority of them were all over the 3 second rule. There was a couple that weren't, but the majority of them were. And that was what sort of gave me the inspiration for this video there, because a lot of them were like, well, what do we do once a conscious mind starts interfering? Well, it's where we call flipping the switch. So what happens is you need to flip your mind back to the spirit world, bring the communicator forward, or go back and ask, what's the story, or what more do you want to talk to me about, or what else can I talk about, or what else is important here? And they will then step in again or within your mind and start giving you impressions and images and feelings of you're hearing things or whatever it may be in the clear range in which that you use. Again, once you've got it and you've got the person, we make it like it's so it's a flow, so it's constantly flowing. So you're going to the community, the sitter in the audience, or you want one or whatever it may be, and go, I've got Dad here. Your dad's telling me that there would be a conversation that would have been with him prior to his passing on a Thursday, 2 days before he passed. The congregation lady or the person sitting in front of you will go, yes, by that time they've already heard that, which the communicator will be already feeding this in. Now, if we use the intelligence of the spirit world, and for anybody who's got a medical field background like myself, will know quite a bit about death and how the body shuts down and the way in which that the body shuts down prior to a loved one going to the spirit world. I will be doing a video on that. But let me give you a little hint and tip. One of the last things to go on a person before they pass to the spirit world is the hearing. So the spirit or the person who was in the bed or wherever it is that they passed will remember all of them things. In the spirit world, majority of mediums that I work with are clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognilian with elements of clairvoyancy in there. So it only makes common sense that the spirit world would use the same sort of clear range for the clear range in which that the loved one uses before they pass to the spirit world there. So when I talk about the rhythm in the hearing you, they're listening to the communication and the voice vibration and everything that's going on within the room as well, so that they know they're in the right place. They know they're talking to their people, and they will keep feeding information in. If you're not getting that information, either one, you're in the wrong place, or two, you started to interfere if it's over the 3 second rule. Because the 3 second rule prior to that is if you're still not interfering, what you're saying is the story stops. So you've got 3 seconds to go back and go, what more? They will then feed it in again and the story will continue. So bear these things in mind. With the blend, this is the easiest way to keep the blend, making sure that it's flowing to the best of its ability, making sure that you aren't over the 3 second rule, and making sure that anything over the 3 second rule becomes you, which means you've got to make sure that you're holding that blend all of the time, because if you're not, then you're interfering, and that's not good, because your information will become wrong and it won't be right for the communication. I hope I've been able to explain it the best I can. I hope it makes sense. See, for me personally, I understand it, but for you out there, what I'm trying to talk to you about it, I hope I get it over. So if you'd like, leave me some comments and things in the box and let me know what you think of this video, it would be great. Thanks to all the new subscribers here on YouTube. It's a pleasure to have you here with me. I hope you enjoy the channel as much as everybody else does. And like I say, thanks for liking, sharing and subscribing. There is no live this week, but I will be back next week on the 7th of March to do a new live, and they're becoming very, very popular there. So again, thanks to everybody who joined me last week. And I will see you all probably on Friday, hopefully. All right, so take care of yourselves. Have a great week, and I'll see you all very, very soon.